Om Shanti, how are you? In Mahabharat war, Sri Krishna made Pandavas to kill the whole Kauravas community. And the mother of Kauravas is Gandhari. On hearing the death news of her children, she reaches the height of pain, height of anger that makes her curse Sri Krishna, who is instrumental in killing Kauravas. So, what is the curse? Just as Gandhari feels the pain of the loss of her kids, he wants Sri Krishna to feel the intensity of her pain by the loss of his own clan, Yadava clan. And did the curse come true? Indeed, it came true. Once Sri Krishna reaches his old age, the whole of Yadavas were so vicious. They were filled with all sorts of bad habits. They have been spending their time in drinking and making all mischievous things. At one point, they started fighting with each other and they end up killing each other. On seeing this, Sri Krishna realizes that Gandhari's curse is becoming true. So he goes beneath a tree and he sits there and starts performing intense tapasya through which he attains moksha. That is according to Mahabharata. But do you know that there is a deep secret that lies beneath this sequence of events? Now we are at the verge of destruction of Kali Yuga. Because God comes 100 years before the destruction of Kali Yuga, he enters an old man's body and starts giving this knowledge to remove all the vices from the people. So it is those who have vices within them like lust, anger, greed, attachment and ego, they are called Kauravas or demons or asuras, which means we are truly Kauravas now. So now God doesn't destroy us. So do we expect God to destroy us? He wouldn't, because he is an embodiment of love. So the destruction of Kauravas in Mahabharata actually represents the destruction of vicious characters. So it is by giving the knowledge which is called Murli, which is available absolutely free of cost in all Brahmakumaris Rajyog meditation centers. It is by reading those Murlis that one's character becomes divine. One becomes deprived of all those vices. Moreover, we are being filled with divine virtues like love, peace, purity. So, by becoming filled with divine virtues, we become deities. The reason God fills us with these divine virtues towards the destruction of this Kali Yuga is because what follows the destruction of Kali Yuga is the establishment of divine kingdom in Satyug. This Kali Yuga itself will be converted to Satyug, which is heaven. So it was originally heaven 5000 years back. God originally created us filled with only divine qualities, and we were deities for the first 2500 years when this world continued to be heaven. And in the next 2500 years, the world becomes hell mainly because we become filled with vices. And the reason for that is while we were in heaven, we were soul conscious, which means we considered ourselves to be the souls that shines like a tiny star in between the eyebrows, which is why Hindus have this habit of applying tilak in between the eyebrows. So they were constantly aware that it is the soul that sees through the eyes, that listens through the ears, and performs all activities using this body. So, since they were constantly soul conscious, they were experiencing eternal bliss because the true nature of soul itself is blissfulness. So we were blissful for the first 2500 years while we were in heaven. As a result, we did not perform any sinful act, because of which we did not experience any pain or sorrow. All we experienced for the first 2500 years is nothing but happiness everywhere, constantly. But after the completion of first 2500 years, we slowly become body conscious, mainly because we can no longer remember that we are souls that operates this body. So we completely forget that we are souls. Instead, we considered ourselves to be this body, because of which we become addicted to sensual pleasures, because we can no longer experience the blissfulness within. So we seek pleasure from outside through physical senses. And that's how these vices, lust, anger, greed, attachment, and ego, slowly starts to emerge. So it is by getting addicted to vices, we start performing sinful acts, because of which we start experiencing sorrow in the form of various diseases, natural calamities, and hatred, and so on. So to put an end to all sorts of sorrow that we face now, God Himself comes to this earth 100 years before the destruction of Kali Yuga. He enters an old man's body and he names him Brahma, and he starts giving this divine knowledge called Murli through the mouth of Brahma. So the essence of that Murli is to consider ourselves to be souls and to remember God as a point of light as much as possible. He dwells in an golden red colored light world, which is called Parandam or soul world or Parlok. So it is where we souls originally resided with God in the beginning. The only difference between we souls and the Supreme Soul is we enter this birth and death cycle that lasts for 5000 years, which is also called a kalpa, while God stays away from entering this birth and death cycle. But He needs to come to this earth anyway to give this knowledge, to remove the vices from us, and to make us into deities again. That is why He takes an old man's body in the end. So it is by imbibing the knowledge, our character gradually becomes divine, which means we gradually get rid of all the vices. So this is what is represented as killing of Kauravas or demons in all religious scriptures. So it is by killing the vices within us that we become deities. It is originally God Shiva who comes and gives this divine knowledge and transforms human beings into deities. But in Mahabharata, instead of God Shiva's name, they have inserted Sri Krishna's name. So they have just mentioned that there is some kind of mother to these voices, and they have given that character the name of Gandhari. This is a 5,000 year time cycle. So, even after getting filled with the divine qualities, even after becoming deities in Satyug, after taking several births for the next 5,000 years, we will again be reaching the same present condition, which means we will again be converted to demons or Kauravas filled with vices, which means all the divine qualities within us got killed. So that is what Gandhari's curse actually represents. By her mentioning that your whole Yadava community should be wiped out, it actually means the wiping out of all the divine qualities within us. So that actually represents the death of deities, which means the death of the divine qualities. But the irony of it is, when our divine qualities got destroyed completely, we become Kauravas again. And in the end, as it happens now, God will again come and destroy all the evil qualities within us and make us into deities again. Which is actually represented in Mahabharata as killing of Kauravas and establishing the kingdom for Pandavas. So the Kauravas within us got killed and we become deities again, and again we are getting the curse from Gandhari, which will become true only after the completion of next 5,000 years, and it repeats kalpa after kalpa. Hope you understood this video. So it is our duty to share this video with our friends and relatives so that they too get enlightened. Om Shanti. Thanks for watching.